My grandfather, William John Rogers, always known as WJ, set up his printing works in a new property that the family moved into. The property that they bought, 9 Cornish Life Street, had a very big building which accommodated the printing works downstairs and all of his papers that he needed to have for printing upstairs. I have in my possession a photograph of my mother standing in front of the printworks, dressed in a Florida dress, ready to dance the midday dance. My grandfather started the printing works and it was taken over by his son, I guess the 30s. William Thomas, as he was known, to all local people known as Treacle, he took on the printing works and worked that until around 1950s. As a child of about 14, I was allowed to go down there and help with the printing. The printing press as such was quite easy to operate. You put the print on the shelf, laid the paper on the print, having inked it first. It was interesting because each job was different, and the setting up of the print was, of course, the most complicated thing. And I enjoyed helping in whatever capacity I was allowed to do. The one thing I found difficult was setting up the type for whatever it was, because my uncle was so much quicker at it and precise. I could have half the words forwards and the other half backwards, whereas his were always right. Well, Helston served a large area. People needed adverts for things all over the area. I mean, the Lizard Peninsula was a big place, and businesses needed small advertising material, cards, football clubs, cricket clubs, the Curie Hunt, young farmers, etc. The Harvest Fair and many others of that type would all have come in and had posters printed, as well as schedules for whatever events they had. The local amateur dramatic society used to put on plays, and they would have had posters printed so that they could send them around the area. They would have had programmes printed and also tickets printed for the performances. So it was a multi-layered business, with the posters being probably the most complicated of them, especially if they were done in 2 inks, because you had to undo what you'd inked over once and then put in new print and ink over with a different colour. Well, the poster was advertising the Jubilee in 1935, and my grandfather didn't print the poster, but he was mayor of Helston at the time, and his wife, the mayoress, presented the prizes at some of the events that were taking place. I think Helston has always had a strong sense of community. I guess that after the First World War, which was pretty dire, people needed to have some activities, and I think those activities started thriving. There were many organisations that took off just after the war because people needed something to take them away from what they'd experienced.